Doctors couldn't save the female CEO until a poor single dad did something shocking. 500 of the world's best doctors. Millions of dollars spent. Every treatment failed. Every specialist baffled. A woman dying in the most exclusive hospital suite in Boston. Her body destroying itself in ways medical science couldn't explain. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, a man knocked on her door holding a small glass jar. And what happened next would change everything they thought they knew about healing, about wisdom, and about who gets to be a hero. Before we continue, please tell us where in the world are you tuning in from? We love seeing how far our stories travel. The fluorescent hallway lights of St. Mary's Hospital hummed their usual monotone symphony as Jonah Graves stood outside Suite 12, his heart hammering against his rib cage. His weathered hands, calloused from years of gripping mop handles and pushing industrial cleaning equipment, trembled slightly as they clutched the small glass jar. It was 2:47 a.m. on a Tuesday in October. Behind the door lay Liliana Mercer, CEO of Ashford Biotech, one of the most powerful women in Massachusetts, dying. And he, a 40-year-old night shift janitor, was about to walk in there with something that could either save her life or get him arrested. His janitor's uniform suddenly felt too tight. The jar felt impossibly heavy. What am I doing? But then he remembered. Remembered watching her through the partially open door just last week, sitting alone at 3 a.m. trying to work on her laptop despite the bandages wrapped around her hands. Remembered the sound of her crying, deep, sorrowful sobs that echoed the kind of grief he knew too well. Remembered her whispering to herself, "I built my company to help people. Now I can't even help myself." Jonah raised his hand and knocked. The door opened almost immediately. Mariah stood there. Liliana's assistant, a woman in her 50s with steel gray hair, pulled into a severe bun. Her eyes narrowed the instant she saw him. "What are you doing here?" Her voice was sharp as a scalpel. "This is a private room." Jonah's throat went dry. "I wanted to speak with Miss Mercer." "About what?" "The floors." Mariah's tone dripped with contempt. She positioned herself squarely in the doorway, a human barrier. "It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. Get out immediately or I'm calling security." "Mariah, wait." The voice from inside was weak, barely above a whisper. "What is it you want?" Jonah tried to see past Mariah's shoulder. "Ma'am, I know how this looks." "Oh, I'm sure you do." Mariah's hand moved to her phone. A janitor showing up in the middle of the night with who knows what in a jar. "This is completely inappropriate. I'm calling security right now." "Please," Jonah said, his voice gaining strength. "I've watched Miss Mercer suffer for weeks. I've seen the doctors fail one after another, and I have something that might help." Mariah actually laughed, a harsh, incredulous sound that made Jonah's face flush. "Are you serious right now? You have something that might help? You, a janitor, have solved what the best medical minds in the world couldn't?" She turned her head slightly toward the room. "Ilana, this is absurd. He's probably trying to sell some snake oil." "Security, well, it's not snake oil." Jonah's jaw clenched. "It's a remedy that saved my daughter's life when she had a condition that destroyed her skin. When the doctors gave up." "Oh, please. Every charlatan has a story. Every scammer preys on desperate people." "Liliana, I'm calling security now. This man is clearly, show me." Both Jonah and Mariah turned to look toward the bed. "Ilana, you can't be serious," Mariah protested, her voice rising. "This man is a nobody. He cleans floors. He probably got this concoction from some internet conspiracy site. You've had Nobel Prize winners examining you, and you're going to listen to, show me what you brought." Eliana's voice was stronger now, cutting through Mariah's objection. He held up the small jar. Through the glass, a golden substance caught the light. "It's a specific mixture of cannula, colloidal oatmeal, raw honey, and lavender oil, but the key is in how it's prepared and where the ingredients come from." Mariah scoffed loudly. "Honey and oatmeal. This is ridiculous." Ileliana, your immunologist from Harvard prescribed cutting-edge biologics designed in a laboratory. And this janitor thinks honey is the answer. The biologics nearly killed me. Mariah. The quiet statement hung in the air. That's different. Mariah shot back. That was real medicine, not some grandmother's recipe from a man who probably didn't even graduate high school. The words hit their mark. Jonah's face flushed deeper, but he held his ground. You're right. I didn't go to college. I clean your floors and empty your trash. His voice was steady despite the tremor in his hands. But I also held my wife's hand while she died from something doctors couldn't fix. I know what it's like to watch someone slip away while experts shake their heads. And I know what it's like to see a miracle when my daughter's skin healed after everyone said it was impossible. This is emotional manipulation. Mariah turned fully toward the bed now. He's playing on your desperation. Ilana, please let me call security. This is dangerous. He could be mentally unstable. The jar could contain anything. Mariah. Ilana's voice was quiet but carried an edge of steel. Look at his eyes. What? Look at his eyes. Look at his hands. Mariah glanced at Jonah dismissively. I don't see. His hands are shaking, but not from fear, from hope. From the weight of what he's about to do. There was a pause. Then Ilana continued, he knows he could lose his job for this. He knows we could have him arrested, but he came anyway. I've seen 1,000 doctors in the last 6 weeks, Mariah. Every one of them looked at me like a puzzle to solve, like a challenge to their ego, like a case study for a medical journal. Another pause. This man, he's looking at me like a person who's suffering. That doesn't mean his jar of goop will help. Mariah's voice cracked slightly. Tell me, Ilana said to Jonah, why did you really come here tonight? Jonah met her swollen, barely visible eyes. Even from across the room, he could see the angry red welts covering her face, the scales that had replaced what was once beautiful skin. But he could also see something else, a desperate flickering hope. Because I couldn't sleep anymore, he said quietly, knowing I might have something that could help and doing nothing about it. Because every night when I clean this floor, I hear you crying when you think no one's listening. He swallowed hard. Because I know what it's like to feel helpless, ma'am. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone. 5 years ago, Jonah Graves had been a different man. He'd worked construction during the day, came home to his pregnant wife, Emma, at night, and dreamed about the family they were building. They'd picked out names, painted the nursery pale yellow, argued playfully about whether their daughter would have his eyes or hers.